Hello, hello, hello. We're back. Let's do this. I'm going to get this out from the beginning. I am manifesting a brilliant stream for us. Actually, even before I got this out, look at this, y'all. Today, I lit a candle and look what it says. Smells like a lawsuit. We're going to be talking about it. I am Perez Hilton, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and you have impeccable taste. Thank you for joining me here on my daily live stream on YouTube. I go live here every Monday through Friday at the same time, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you can, please consider becoming a member. It is a super meaningful way to support me and your favorite creators if they have memberships here on YouTube. You get a lot of perks, including a little badge, priority response during my daily live streams. You get exclusive videos most every weekday. You also get an exclusive live stream every weekday and more. Hey, Slick. All right. That was a pretty short intro. Let me see. There we go. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I'm not mad at that angle. Okay. All right, let's start off today with Blake. I don't even like saying her name out loud anymore. Blake Lively. And since we're starting off strong, please like this video. All right. A reminder, traveler and everybody else, I'm doing my best here, and you might have seen this already, or maybe you didn't. However, did you guys see, it kind of got buried because she's not a very famous actress, but Jamila Jamil was embroiled in this Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni never-ending saga. And some private text messages of Jamila Jamil have been shared. Oops. Which I think are pretty accurate about Blake Lively. Let me get everything all lined up. So, I wish I knew what came first. I wish I knew if the DMs on IG came first or if the text messages came first. But we've seen both. Here, Jamila Jamil had somebody message her on IG upset that, let me see what she did. Hold on. I think she shared Justin Baldoni's post or something like that. Is that what she did? Let me look. Or Blake Lively's post. It's hard to tell. Somebody replied to her story and said, fake feminist ally BS. So disheartening. I think it was a post by Baldoni. And then Jamila Jamil, the actress, said, oh, dude, feminism means, or no, maybe I think she shared Blake Lively's post. I'm so confused. We'll get to the juicier bit, which is the text messages, but if anybody knows whom or what precisely Jamila Jamil was responding to in the DM, let us know in the chat. Okay. Jamila Jamil said, feminism means fighting for equal rights, not liking every woman who bullies your friends. Okay, I think that's what happened. I think Jamila Jamil shared a post from Blake Lively. Okay. She said, I fight for the human rights of all women I dislike just as much as the ones I like. That is feminism. Thank you, Denise Ann. Fudge. Oh, I figured it out. Yay. I didn't think you could take screenshots of horizontal. You can. Anyways, thank you, Denise. Yes, I was on News Nation last night. I will share my appearance later today. They sent me the clip. I'm so thankful to them. All right. Oof. Okay. It's a political movement, not some blind, fluffy sisterhood. Pay attention. And then the person whom Jamila Jamil was messaging said, no shh, but fanning the flames and taking a man's side when he was SHing every woman on set feels icky and fake to me. Wait, I'm so confused now. So she did repost Baldoni? Why are you not condemning everything he did in public? It seems truly sad because I think you do good work, but behind the scenes, the way you speak about women is not feminist. It's deeply rooted misogyny. Then Jamila Jamil responded, if I had said it publicly, I would have been fanning the flames. I stayed out of the whole thing because I think they both suck, and I don't believe in speculation during an active trial. I said this privately in jest, and it has no bearing on the case whatsoever. And she fought to publish my text for no reason, just to hurt me. That is fanning flames. Oh, okay. So this, I'm guessing it's recent? I don't know. I love this. She's throwing Blake Lively under the bus. Imagine having such a fragile ego that you see someone taking the piss out of your social media and you blast their private messages across the world without them having any relevance to your lawsuit. And now the texts are from August of 2024. I think these are recent because she's talking about her texts being out there. So we'll get to the text right after this. And now, and now most people are agreeing with my texts. And she's done that. She's positioned me publicly against her when I was not doing that. She's doxed a bunch of small TikTokers who made fun of her online. This woman. I was kidding when I called her a villain in those texts 18 months ago, but now, boom. I don't even like Jamila Jamil, but I like this. Juicy. So let's get to the text. Okay, these texts are from Jamila Jamil and Jen Abel, Baldoni's longtime publicist now of at least a few years. Does anybody know if Jamila Jamil is also a client of Jen Abel, or are they just friends? This is part of the Great Unsealing. This was on August 13th of 2024. Hey, the 6th, Jamila sent something to Jen Abel. Oh my God. Then she sent her a link to a video. Then Jen Abel said, yes. I want to officially, Jen Abel says, I want to officially incorporate. I've not read this yet. I've been behind. I want to officially incorporate. I want to officially incorporate Nightmare See You Next Tuesday and Demon See You Next Tuesday into my vocabulary. Unbelievable. She's doing this to herself. Jamila Jamil said, she's a suicide bomber at this point. Jen Abel, you're not going to believe the latest. Then Jamila sent her screenshots of other videos. They're so evil, says Jamila, and sent her a screenshot of a People magazine article. Then Jen Abel responded, yup, that was reduced down from sexual predator. Jamila, at least borderline abusive is out there, so she can't go in with predator. Why did this People article drop today? I could never do your job. The level of evil I would stoop to. Boost. Then another video, and then Jen, ha 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 ha. Jamila Jamil, just now. Stop it, says Jen Abel. It's unbelievable. Jamila, you know what? She's just being so supportive right now. I'm leaving you for her. It worked. She sold me. She's my soulmate. She's my best friend, the sister I never had, the mother I always wanted. Jen Abel, I hate you. Joking. You and your AI boobies. Jamila, who cares? I have Steph and she loves me. Stephanie Jones, and I think they're joking. Jamila Jamil, we don't need you, Jen. Jen Abel, warmest regards. Jamila, did you see Blake post that Survivors link? Dead. Jen Abel, oh yes, it's sick. Jamila, so cold. Just some stats and a link. Jen Abel, I'm thinking about having Justin share it. Jamila, ah ha ha, no, keep him away from her. Keep him silent. Keep him in Sweden. Jen Abel, ha ha ha. Jen Abel, I hate her so much. So much, says Jamila Jamil. I've never seen such a bizarre villain act before. She's over. I love that in these private texts that Jamila Jamil thought would remain private, from even before the lawsuits, this was in August of 2024, she said, Blake Lively is over. Jamila Jamil was privately saying what so many in Hollywood were thinking. And now even more people believe. I'm not advocating for anybody's cancellation. That's up to the general public. But if Blake Lively truly is canceled, I'm not going to feel sad for her. Is that mean of me? Am I lacking in empathy? I don't think so. I'm a very empathetic person, but I'm not gonna fake empathy for people that don't deserve it. She doesn't deserve it. Blake Lively does not deserve my empathy here. In other instances, she might. For example, nobody should be sending her, threats of any kind. I would have empathy for her if she was receiving that. Even though I think she's a demon. See you next Tuesday. Oh my God. Demon come. Okay, let's continue. She's over. Then Jamila sent another video. I don't know of what. And then Jen Abel sent like some skulls. Jamil said, when you get to parody, it's over. And you know what? In the messages that we read earlier, Jamila was right. Why would Blake Lively include this in her opposition to Baldoni's motion for summary judgment? In what world is anything that Jamila Jamil or Jen Abel said relevant to Blake Lively's claims against Justin Baldoni? How does this help Blake Lively? Like, what was the point of including that? I don't get it. And it backfired because Jamila Jamil is this big feminist and activist. And when you have her going against you, she's the villain. Well, Jamila has spoken out after the text that she sent about Blake Lively generated headlines, claiming, Jamila says that her name was unredacted to cause as much trouble as possible for her while defending her remarks. Jamila shared a video in which she clarified her belief that being a feminist does not preclude someone from having personal differences with other women. In a separate video, the British actress and activist directly addressed her comments about Blake Lively, saying that she was ready to say some things, including that her text messages were sent before she was aware of Lively's lawsuit. Quote, I think it's really weird that my private text messages from 18 months ago have suddenly been released now, and my name has been deliberately unredacted to cause as much trouble as possible for me, even though these text messages have nothing to do with the case. She said of the texts themselves, I had no idea about any of this stuff. I was just purely venting to my friend about how I felt, about how the about the press rollout of that effing terrible movie. Jamil said she disliked the press campaign for the film as she grew up with DV in her home and was a victim of DV in her 20s. Quote, it offended me. Did I choose to pile on publicly? No. I know personally what it's like to be in the firing line as a woman in the media. So I took it to the group chat. I talked about it with my friend, who happens to be being treated very badly by some very powerful, wealthy celebrities, some of whom are involved. Jamil said she saw red when she believed someone was treating her friend badly. We bitch, we gossip, and affirm and support one another. It's a joyous part of womanhood. She called it a victimless crime because no one is supposed to see those text messages, and concluded by saying, the fact that I've been dragged into this feels incredibly sinister. The fact that my name was unredacted, all of it just felt very targeted and very weird, and an attempt to throw me under the bus. Jamil said she felt it was inappropriate to comment on the lawsuit itself, and added that she was more concerned with what was going on in places such as Palestine, Sudan, Congo, the UK, and the US. We're all sick of hearing about this boring movie. It's got more press coverage than all the genocides combined, she said. Like I said before, like I said before, I don't like Jamila Jamil, but very well said. Oh my God, my hair, it's still pink. I love the like transformation of the pink after you wash it, and it went from very vibrant pink to a little pastelly pink to maybe it'll even turn peachy. And I love that I'm wearing my teddy. All right, let's keep it moving because we have more to talk about. Like Kanye West. In case you missed it, yesterday, Kim Kardashian's ex-husband took a full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal addressed to those I've hurt. I have a lot of issues with this, so let's get to it. Kanye says, 25 years ago, I was in a car accident that broke my jaw and caused injury to the right frontal lobe of my brain. At the time, the focus was on the visible damage, the fracture, the swelling, and the immediate physical trauma. The deeper injury, the one inside my skull, went unnoticed. Comprehensive scans were not done, says Kanye. Neurological exams were limited after his car crash, and the possibility of a frontal lobe injury was never raised. It wasn't properly diagnosed until 2023. That medical oversight caused serious damage to my mental health and led to my bipolar type 1 diagnosis. Bipolar disorder comes with its own defense system, denial. When you're manic, you don't think you're sick. You think everyone else is overreacting. You feel like you're seeing the world more clearly than ever, when in reality, you're losing your grip entirely. He did not write this, right? Somebody else wrote this for Kanye, right? And correct, Karame. Kanye has apologized many times before. But listen, I'm jumping ahead here. If he's sincere, I always appreciate a sincere apology. And also, like the Sixth says, actions speak louder than words, and only time will tell. And yes, hopefully, like Mary says, hopefully he is back on his meds. Kanye continues, once people label you as crazy, you feel as if you cannot contribute anything meaningful to the world. Hey, Rex. It's easy for people to joke and laugh it off when, in fact, this is a very serious, debilitating disease you can die from. According to the World Health Organization in Cambridge, Kanye West is not pulling up information from the World Health Organization in Cambridge University. According to the World Health Organization and Cambridge University, people with bipolar disorder have a life expectancy that is shortened by 10 to 15 years on average, and a 2 to 3 times higher all-cause mortality rate than the general population. This is on par with severe heart disease, type 1 diabetes, HIV, and cancer, all lethal and fatal if left untreated. The scariest thing about this disorder is how persuasive it is when it tells you you don't need help. It makes you blind but convinced you have insight. You feel powerful, certain, unstoppable. I lost touch with reality. Things got worse the longer I ignored the problem. I said and did things I deeply regret. Some of the people I love the most, I treated the worst. You endured fear, confusion, humiliation, and the exhaustion of trying to have someone who was at times unrecognizable. Looking back, I became detached from my true self. In that fractured state, I gravitated toward the most destructive symbol I could find, the swastika, and even sold t-shirts bearing it. One of the most difficult aspects of having bipolar type 1 are the disconnected moments, many of which I still cannot recall. That led to poor judgment and reckless behavior that oftentimes feels like an out-of-body experience. I regret and am deeply mortified by my actions in that state, and am committed to accountability, treatment, and meaningful change. It does not excuse what I did, though. I am not a C or an anti-Semite. I love Jewish people. To the Black community, which held me down through all of the highs and lows and the darkest of times, the Black community is unquestionably the foundation of who I am. I am so sorry to have let you down. I love us. In early 2025, I fell into a 4-month-long manic episode of psychotic, paranoid, and impulsive behavior that destroyed my life. As the situation became increasingly unsustainable, there were times I didn't want to be here anymore. Those 2 sentences were my biggest issue with Kanye's statement. Because I've been covering Kanye West for decades, and his anti-Semitism predates 2025. Kanye's vitriol towards Jewish people has been in existence for many, many years. Not just a 4-month period in 2025. And in this statement, he also does not acknowledge the homophobia that he's also shared, spewed. Why is he only apologizing to Jewish people and to the Black community? He needs to apologize to the LGBT community as well and take accountability for that, acknowledge it, and repent. He says, having bipolar disorder is notable state of constant mental illness. When you go into a manic episode, you are ill at that point. When you are not in an episode, you are completely normal. And that's when the wreckage from the illness hits the hardest. Hitting rock bottom a few months ago, my wife encouraged me to finally get help. And now he's throwing Kim Kardashian under the bus? Be pleased. You all may not like Kim Kardashian, but that woman rode hard for Kanye West and tried to help him so much for years. He continues, I have found comfort in Reddit forums of all places. Different people speak of being in manic or depressive episodes of a similar nature. I read their stories and realize that I was not alone. It's not just me who ruins their entire life once a year, despite taking meds every day and being told by the so-called best doctors in the world that I am not bipolar, but merely experiencing symptoms of autism. My words as a leader in my community have global impact and influence in my mania. I lost complete sight of that. And we have more Kanye, including an update that you may not have seen, but I've got to switch over to member exclusive live right now. I will upload the rest of this for everyone later, but if you can, please consider becoming a member and supporting. If not, I truly appreciate everyone who watches. I will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. For now, I'm switching the live to member-only mode. Thank you all for watching. Okay, let's finish the statement from Kanye. He says, as I find my new baseline and new center through an effective regime of medication, therapy, exercise, and clean living, I have newfound, much needed clarity. I am pouring my energy into positive, meaningful art, music, clothing, design, and other new ideas to help the world. I'm not asking for sympathy or a free pass, though I aspire to earn your forgiveness. I write today simply to ask for your patience and understanding as I find my way home. With love, Ye. Well, after that full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal, Kanye gave an interview to Vanity Fair where, let me see if I can get some quotes. Here we go. Kanye insists that his apology is not a PR move. Quote, I owe a huge apology once again for everything that I said that hurt the Jewish and Black communities in particular. This, for me, as evidenced by the letter, isn't about reviving my commerciality. This is because these remorseful feelings were so heavy on my heart and weighing on my spirit. All of it went too far. I look at wreckage of my episode. Once again, I look at wreckage from my episode and realize that this isn't who I am. You know what he just did there? He tried to frame it as his episode last year. But we remember, Kanye, as I said just a few moments ago, this has been going on for years, for over 6 years. Remember when he said he was going to run for president in 2020? And he was already saying hurtful things back then? This has been going on for at least 6+ years. This is not one episode last year. Kanye says, I look at wreckage of my episode and realize that this isn't who I am. As a public figure, so many people follow and listen to my every word. It's important that they realize and understand what side of history that I want to stand on. And that is one of love and positivity. Kanye also tells Vanity Fair that he has a checklist of things he regrets from a span of several years. Every day that I wake up, it's a checklist of everything that I said, at least what I can recall, while in a bipolar episode. All of the family bonds, deep relationships, and lifelong friendships that I worked so hard to build over so many years were all tarnished by all of the horrible statements that I made so impulsively. I've been put on and taken off of many medications. That's part of the journey. The African American community has a hypersensitivity to antipsychotic drugs. Finding the right dosage is difficult, but it's important and critical to finding the right balance with the illness. Zombifying otherwise becomes a side effect of a high dosage. The side effects as such, have been a reality for me at times. And it's known that 60% to 80% of people who have to take these antipsychotic drugs experience side effects. And up to 25% of people abandon using them because of the side effects. I'm just trying to find what works for me so that I can continue down this positive course. Kanye reiterates that this is not about money and says that last year he was one of the top 10 most streamed artists on Spotify, and that his new album that he's releasing has been pre-saved a lot. Isn't that wild? Despite everything, people continued to stream Kanye's music a lot last year. But to that point, Karame, he could have not apologized and the music would have probably done well. Wild. Thank you, Traveler. I've been doing a better job of getting a little bit more sleep. Not too much more, but some more. And I've done a good job of maintaining my presence at the gym, so I'm very happy about that. All right, let's continue. In other news, Sydney Sweeney climbed atop the Hollywood sign and threw bras all over it. And that's a story that people are talking about. That's a bad yawn. I find that story so boring. Who cares? I give her props. Sydney Sweeney, much like Timothée Chalamet, is not just an actor. She's also a really smart marketer. She's also a star. Last year, we all remember her jeans ad that went super viral, and even the president spoke up about it. Now, she got a permit to go to the Hollywood sign and film there. She just didn't tell the decision makers that she was going to climb on top of the Hollywood sign and throw her bras all over it for what she filmed. I don't really care about her, though. To be frank, Karame. And like the whole backlash, an orchestrated PR campaign. Nothing is going to happen to her. The worst case scenario, she'll be slapped with a fine. That's it. All right. I don't really care for her. I don't really care for Jennifer Lawrence either. Thank you for sharing that, tie-dye Gammy. It's so funny to me. Like, I get it. Jennifer Lawrence is a popular actress, but I just farted. I'm by myself. It was an accident. Sorry. I get it. I just had a protein shake before doing this, and protein powder makes you gassy. But I went to the gym and I had a protein powder. Anyways, yes, Jennifer Lawrence is an A-lister. She's an A-list actress. But you know what? Living your life, this is deep. You can be an A-lister and not live the A-list life. Or let me explain it better. Choosing to treat yourself like an A-lister is a choice. In this new chat with Amy Poehler, Jennifer Lawrence says that she plans her outfits every day for when she takes her kids to school. Because, she says, I do it like mentally. I take my kid to school and I know that I'm going to get photographed. Who cares? It might actually be smart of you to wear the same exact thing every day. Then maybe the paparazzi will stop photographing you. But no, she secretly likes it. You know who I hold up as the pinnacle of choosing normalcy? Pink. Pink is a superstar. Pink sells out stadiums. But when she's not Pink, she's in mom mode and she's just Alicia. I follow her on social media. I don't even think she has round-the-clock security. She could if she wanted to. Maybe she doesn't need it. I don't know. Or maybe she does, but like she might have like one person, but she doesn't have like a security detail. She doesn't have a team. Pink regularly takes Lyfts and Ubers. If you have a security detail, you have 2 security cars and multiple bodyguards. Pink lives a normal life. And I love that about her. Beyonce, zero desire to be normal. And that's fine. Beyonce loves being a superstar. She loves being Beyonce. Pink likes being normal. All right, speaking of divas, Perez Hilton opens up about spending some time with Britney Spears recently in Mexico for her birthday. Perez says, I was just with her 2 days ago. We were in Mexico. We had a birthday party for her. She just feels really safe there. She loves the people, the food, the shopping. I love that Britney is still friends with Paris after all these years. I love that Britney celebrated her birthday. I love that Britney's happy place is Mexico and she goes there regularly. That makes me happy also. Also, speaking of vacations, according to a new report, Timothée Chalamet and his partner, Kylie Jenner, were spotted boarding a private jet in Los Angeles and headed for a top secret vacation ahead of a very busy award show season for Timothée. Those two are really making it work. Mazel. And finally, holy moly, if you guys come to Vegas, you need to go see The Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. It is exceptional. And they have sold, since premiering in summer of 2025, over 2 million tickets to see The Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. It is, I've got to go again. And they've made more than $260 million in ticket sales. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you for being members. I will be back tomorrow to make our hump day smoother at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. I appreciate you all. Have a beautiful day. If you watched until the end, hit that like button, share this video, and say wizard in the comments section. Say wizard in the comments section, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.